The statue of U.S. Army General George Armstrong Custer has been a matter of significant controversy in Monroe, Michigan for years, maybe decades. I suggest that city officials communicate with Army leadership and West Point leadership about selling the statue. Desalinators are relatively simple machines which can provide millions of gallons of fresh drinking water per day along any ocean coastline. Per year, I wrote down. I have no idea. It's a lot. Along any ocean coastline. Build them. A filter should probably be implemented on social media platforms to digitally animatize children's pictures. Politicians should have a reasonable budget in their election campaign. $1 million for a U.S. senator seems reasonable. Large dedicated spaces, campsites, that offer enough room to pitch a large tent and a bonfire to live in with a police officer available 24/7 would provide easy, cheap housing that's far superior to somebody living in their car. This is for significantly wealthy people. Rich people should consider giving their kids about $1 million maximum between the ages of 18 and 25. This is enough money to acquire a considerable head start for yourself, but not so much as to draw in considerable negativity from their peers. You should consider giving your food waste to shelters and orphanages. Every day, do one thing to improve each: your career, yourself, and your relationships. During your teenage years, buy something expensive and long-term, such as a laptop, clothes. You may wonder where all you earned went years later if you don't, and that can actually be demoralizing. I will not learn 8 pronouns for less than 1% of the population, but we can compromise on zer as a third pronoun. How many fingers do we teach kids that human beings have? Natural philosophy can liaison between professionals and laypersons in hard science. When flummoxed in life, consider asking yourself, WWTRD. My research suggests that one great successful social program exists in the USA, the U.S. military. You might actually want to consider taking advantage of it. There are many jobs that have a very low rate of incidents, although submarines should be outlawed worldwide. The cramped conditions consistently lead to diagnosable mental illnesses, including insanity. If Republicans want to end social programs and claim to be God and family first, how can their mentally ill relatives end up homeless? Consider asking your mentally ill relatives to make a list of what they can do for you however they can. You may be surprised how many are willing and able to do work which more than pays for them to live with you, or even on their own. Blacks, outside of Africa at least, prefer the term blacks. A hobby is a need. Your trauma is probably real, even if you can't find the words to explain it to your closest friends. Schrödinger was famous in his time as a physicist who worked in the field of biology. More of this, please. Q is a stupid character. Your school's provost should probably be fired or demoted to a real job. Your students probably don't even know they have a provost or what that is. Your provost should, 1, be a professor willing to supervise a school club and use some of that club's time and their office hours to hear student complaints or suggestions. 2, consent to the considerable amount of additional work. 3, like students and probably also people. 4, have a strong connection to the students and be well liked and trusted by them. 5, have a considerable length of history with the school. And 6, something the student body knows about. This is actually not a small issue. College deans should be allowed to teach a few classes per year. They are probably world-leading experts at something that is no longer being taught at your school. And question everything. Question me,